I bet you didn't know about the gridiron. I'm not talking about the one for football. This was a medieval execution method. They would take the victim and tie them to an iron grid. Then they would place them over burning coals. And slowly but surely the victim would start to be cooked alive. They claimed that they wouldn't eat them afterwards, but that's not to say they never have. Flaying. It was an old form of execution. This was usually done to prisoners. The prisoner was tied up and stretched out, their arms above their head and their feet tied together. Starting with the face, they would cut large sections of skin off. The goal was to remove each section perfectly, starting with the face, moving down to the chest, arms, waist. That's usually as far as they could go before the prisoner would succumb to the flaying. While being done in smaller sections, this also used to be used for interrogation as well. Flaying. It was an execution that originated in China, but was also documented in Vietnam and Korea. Now this is a simple but horrific execution. How this would work is they would take a very sharp knife or sword, and they would slowly start cutting away chunks of your flesh. Very little at a time. It starts with the arms, then back, then chest. Then eventually they would start amputating your limbs. And finally, it ended with decapitation. It was very slow, very painful, and very effective. Molten gold execution. This was practiced by the Romans. The victim would be restrained and their mouth would be forced open. They would then take molten gold and pour it down the victim's throat. This would cause immediate burns and extreme destruction to the esophagus, stomach, and lungs. This was always fatal. The very first lie detector test. It started in ancient Egypt. They would start by heating a spoon or ladle to get burning hot. Then they would make the supposed liar stick their tongue to it. If their tongue blistered, that meant they were guilty. If their tongue did not, that meant they were innocent. Some tribes in Egypt still practice that to this day.